بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. قال تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. If we ask people, question is, how would you define the Deen? I have done this and I have asked the people, what is the Deen? And a lot of the answers that they come up with by saying is, one people they said, قال عليه الصلاة والسلام الدين المعاملة. First of all, الدين المعاملة, الدين, the definition of it according to them is that the way you deal with people. This is not a hadith. A lot of people, they think it's a hadith. It is not a hadith. It is not authentic. It has no basis to it. So it's not a hadith. But it's okay. It's good. The meaning is good. But it is not hadith. It is not related to the Prophet ﷺ. So this is for the information. Second, people, they said, ad-deen is the moral value, the moral ethics, al-akhlaq. True. But is this the deen? And some people said ad-deen is the way you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, salah, siyam, ibadah, zakah, sadaqah, all of this. All of this, I'm not saying is not correct. But I'm saying it is short of the meaning of the deen. If we go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we go to the Quran, what I mean by that is, let's see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defined the deen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have a surah in the Quran, surah 107 in the, tartib, in the correlation of the Quran. It's called Surah Al-Ma'un. It's a short surah. It's about 7 ayat, but it has a lot of meaning. So today, inshallah, I would like to share it with you. If I was able to convey the message, that will be the help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that will be the success from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I was not able, that's because of my ignorance and short preparation, and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this surah, after Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, said, Ara'ayta. Let's take each word by word. Ara'ayta. What does Ara'ayta mean? And what's the difference in the Quran when we hear the word Ara'ayta and the word Alam Tara? Ara'ayta, it was repeated in the Quran 6 times. Alam Tara was repeated in the Quran 31 times. What is the difference between them? We have to understand the language before we can go into the surah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ara'ayta. Every time you see the word Ara'ayta, that means you truly see in your own eyes. Ara'ayta, that means it is there. You can see it. Alam Tara, you have not seen it in your eye, but because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have told you about it, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks the ultimate truth, that means it becomes, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you something, that means it is real as if that you see it. This is the usage of the word. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran said, Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashab al-fil? No, I did not see that. I was not there. But Alam tara, because I am telling you what happened there, since I say the truth, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the ultimate truth, when I'm telling you that means as if you have seen it. Because I'm going to give you the detail about it I'm going to describe it to you. So when I do that, it will become like as if that you have seen it, but you have not, by your own eye. Ara'ayta, no, you've seen it in your own eye. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ara'ayta alladhi yukadhibu bid-deen. What does that mean? When we were little and young, we read the surah, we go to the sheikh, we ask him, he said, Akhi, none of us will deny the deen. Ask yourself, do you make takdeeb in the deen? Do you believe in it? Do you agree with it? Everybody in the room, they said yes. Ara'ayta alladhi yukadhibu bid-deen? No. Because everyone I talk to is acknowledging the deen. The deen is good. Ibadatullah is good. Shirk is no good. Ma'asi is no good. Dunub is no good. Everybody testify to that. So what does it mean then, Ara'ayta alladhi yukadhibu bid-deen? The scholar said, to deny the deen, it has two bases. You deny it by the way you're saying it, you denounce it, you disagree with it. That's one way. And none of us, alhamdulillah, will do that. The other denial, which is what meant in this ayah, is the denial by the action. All of you does not deny the deen by tongue. But in your deed, do you deny the deen? You ask yourself, how many of us cheat? How many of us lie? How many of us does not say the truth? How many of us have an ill feeling toward others? How many of us have disease, envyism, disobedience, hatred to the others? Why we are gathered? We are a million and some people. We don't amount to nothing. Why? Because we deny the deen, not by tongue, it is by action. Look at all the Arabic world. Look at what happened to Palestine. Why we are so persecuted, we are so much oppressed. Our land is taken away from us. Isn't it true? If we are so strong, if we are together, if we are with Allah, if we acknowledge the deen, how come we are so weak? How could we acknowledge the deen? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِن تَنْصُرُوا اللَّهَ يَنْصُرْكُمْ وَيُثَبِّتْ أَقْدَامَكُمْ. Allah said that. Does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not fulfill His promises? أعوذ بالله, ma'ad Allah. Allah will fulfill His promises all the time. But in Tansurullah yansurkum, He fulfilled His promises subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means we are not victorious to us. That means we are nukadhibu bid-deen. Not by tongue, but by action. Most of the spy in the Muslim world are from among the Muslim. Most of the people who they work against the Muslim ummah they call themselves Muslim. They call themselves Muslim and their names is Muslim. But those people, they deny the deen. Otherwise, we will not be seized in Gaza. Our Aqsa will not be seized. Our Quds will not be seized. We will not be down, in the last scale of the Ummah. Look at North Korea. They are so poor. They don't have nothing. Even though they're threatening the whole world. South Korea, small country. What they're doing? In the United States, you find their cars, you find their technology, you find their computer, they find everything. We, the Muslim Ummah, what we have? We have the highest number of Rolls Royce in the world in our Arabic countries. We have the highest number of Mercedes in our own country. Because we're not together. And I've said it last khutbah, I said the highest painting was sold to one of the Saudi people for $400 million. The highest price was ever paid for a painting. And by the way, this is haram. It is haram to buy. In Islam we have qaida. Our mashayikh, jazahumullah khair, they taught us qawaid. This deen has rules and regulation, qawaid. It is haram to buy something you cannot use it. It is not useful. It is haram to buy nonsense. It is haram to buy something that does not produce anything. It is haram. So whether it is $10 or $450 million. When I was preparing the khutbah and I was looking, wallahi, if those money was given to some Muslim country to establish a factory, we buy all our weapons. Why don't we buy the whole entire factory with those prices and install it in our own countries? Why don't we buy cars factory? Let's produce car. What's wrong with us? Nothing wrong with us. But the ayah, أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ, we testify, we talk, we say so many things. And we claim to be Muslim. We make Hajj and Umrah. We make so many Hajj and Umrah. When I went to Hajj, I found people going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What are you doing? I want to make 5, 6 Umrah a day. Why don't you keep your tongue away from the Muslim Ummah? Why don't you protect yourself from the shaitan? Why don't you protect your hands from reaching to your brother in any way? أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ, we deny the deen by our action. I didn't say that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that. أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدُعُّ الْيَتِيمِ. What does يَدُعُّ الْيَتِيمِ mean? يَضْرِبُهُ, يَحْتَقِرُهُ, يُخْذِلُهُ. يَدُعُّ الْيَتِيمِ is that means physically you put him down. Now, do you think you and me are putting down al-yatim? How many yatim do we have in Syria? How many orphans we have right now in Syria? The latest issue of the United Nations, the UNESCO, they said right now there are 720,000 orphans belong to Syria. Subhanallah. 720,000 orphans. How much you and me, we have helped those people? Truly, let's be serious. Let's acknowledge the truth. Let's face ourselves. We come to Jum'ah, we might criticize the way I dress or the way I talk or this and that. But that's not what's important. What's important is what are you going to leave here with? Leave here with the questioning to yourself. Those people in Palestine, how many people they have demolished their houses? How many people they have no homes? And it is winter, it's severe winter. How many people they have no family? How many people are dying every day? Do you know Gaza has been in siege for so many years? They don't have enough to eat. They have so many orphans. What you and me have done to them? I haven't done anything. Maybe I paid a few dollars here, a few dollars there, but no way that it reached the point that I can do it. I can do more, but I'm not. Why? Because I am يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ. I am يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ by action, not by word. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدُعُّ الْيَتِيمِ. Al-Imam al-Wahidi is one of the A'immah. They wrote a book, it's called Asbab al-Nuzul, the reason for revelation of each surah. He said that this surah was revealed in Mecca when Abu Sufyan ibn Harb. Abu Sufyan ibn Harb is one of the head people of Mecca. He used to slaughter 2 camels every week for his family and for his tribe and for the guests that he got. And one day, a little orphan came to him asking him for some meat. So he hit him with a stick, driving him away. That's the Imam Wahid said. How authentic the story, I don't know. But I'm telling you what's written in the book. Anyway, but it makes sense. So the ayah came, أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدع اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين. How many masakin do we have? How many people we have? How many widows we have? How many people who they are sick we have? We have so many. Honestly, truly, for God's sake, do you worry about them? Do you feel like your sister or your daughter or mother or father or somebody or a family who says La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah? Wallahi, they sent me a video. I cried. I mean, not intentionally, I cried unintentionally. I don't want to cry. But I cried. A guy is lifting up his hand, he's praying. He said, I am praying for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take my soul because I cannot bear the pain. I cannot take it. I cannot do it anymore. So I'm asking Allah to take my soul. How much agony does this person have? Do I worry about him? Do you worry about him? Don't tell me, I'm not, and I don't want to tell you that I worry about him by tongue. Worry about him by action. Do something. What did we do for the Aqsa? What did we do? What did we do for Jerusalem? Honestly, we didn't do nothing. Nothing had happened. The atrocity is still there. Yesterday he came out, that joker in the White House, came out on TV and he said, I stand behind what I said. Everything had happened. The millions of people they protest, all of those people they have done. Did they change anything? No. What does that mean? That means we have to do something else. What is that something else we have to do? We have to be stronger. We have to be united. We have to love one another. We have to pay. We have to cooperate. We have to use the law. We have to collect our name to be high enough. We have to have somebody in the Congress. We have to have a lobby to go defend us. We must be together. The Jewish people are not more numbers than us. Truly, the Jewish people, statistic-wise, they're not higher number than us, but they are organized. They are very well organized. I'm not asking you to go and do something wrong or something stupid. No. I'm asking you to use the legal channel. Be together. Love one another. This community tying up with another community to form a bigger and stronger community. Let's have a coalition together, a body that will forecast, will plan for the Muslim Ummah in this city and other cities. Let's have university. Let's have colleges for Muslim. Let's have investment club. I said that before and I'm going to say it again. What's wrong with all of you? Very smart, very intelligent, very business people, have high degree, educated, doctors, engineers, what have you. Why don't you form something? Form a club, form an investment club. Every one of you donate. Imagine how many people in Overland Park here. If each one of you in the club and donate $100 a month, how much we're going to have at the end of the month? And then we start investing and buying, then we would have power. Power needs money. Power needs planning. Power, in order for your voice to be heard, to be effective, you have to be planner, you have to be smart, you have to be educated, you have to be rich, you have to be, that's what the strength is in this country. It's not strong that for some stupid people to go, do something, explode something, or kill somebody, or do this is nonsense. This is nonsense. This is not what we are inviting for. We're inviting for us to work right, to be educated, to teach our children about Islam, to teach them about Aqidah, to teach them about the people where we come from, the sense of belonging. Is your children, they have the sense of belonging, or they belong to here? Is Al-Aqsa your problem? Is Palestine your problem? That's the sense of belonging. This is al-wala wal-bara. You see? You have to teach your children, I'm a Muslim, Palestine is mine. Palestine is not for the Palestinian. Al-Aqsa is not for the Arabs. Al-Aqsa is for the Muslim. Palestine is for the Muslim. You know, the enemy of Islam, they made Palestine smaller and smaller. First of all, in the 1930s, it used to be, it's the Muslim issue. They changed it. They made it the Arab issue. Then they changed it. Now it's the Palestinian issue. Now they're changing it. Look at the news, read. It's called الشأن الفلسطيني. What does that mean? It means it belongs only to a group of people. It is not. Palestine, Jerusalem, is not شأن فلسطيني. It's a matter for the Muslim, whoever you are, wherever you come from. You see? This is where your Prophet ﷺ prayed toward it for 18 months. This is where your Prophet ﷺ, you know, went up to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from Jerusalem, from Al-Aqsa. Ask yourself, wasn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala capable to take the Prophet ﷺ from Mecca? Wasn't Allah as capable? If you say no, you become kafir. Because Allah is capable. He could have taken him from Mecca. He did not. He took him to Bayt al-Maqdis. He took him to Al-Aqsa. He made him pray toward Al-Aqsa for 18 months. Why? He could have revealed that from the beginning. The ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah, وَلَنُوَلِّيَنَّكَ قِبْلَةً تَرْضَاهَا. He could have said that, 18 months earlier. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gathered all the prophets in Al-Aqsa for the Prophet ﷺ to lead them, to pray for them? Why? Ask yourself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sending us a message. We deny the message by action. This is all what I'm talking about. أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدُعُّ الْيَتِيمِ وَلَا يَحُضُّ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ. Musallin, who's a Musallin? الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. How many of us pray and we don't know how many we prayed? Ask yourself. How many of us we pray and then at the end of the salah we make sujood sahu? Because our mind is there. We are sahun. The scholars said as-sahu fi salah 3 times. Sahu bis salah. Saha biha. Saha biha. The reason I need to explain this with all, I apologize to you, because some people have asked me the question, well, the Prophet ﷺ made a mistake in the salah, and that's why he made sujood sahu. That means he made sahu. So how could Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preventing us from sahu, and the Prophet ﷺ himself made sahu? That's why we need to explain the type of sahu. The scholar, they said, saha biha, saha fiha, saha anha. 3 types of sahu. Saha biha, when you're praying and you're thinking of the ayat, you're thinking of the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you're doing that, your mind might wander with those ayat. Then you will forget. You will not be able to know how many you have prayed. This is what they call saha biha, which is good. That's why Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu said, when I was in the salah sometime, I'm preparing an army, or I'm worrying about the Sharia. Why? Because he was reciting an ayah talking about jihad, talking about something like this, so he's wondering with that ayah. Saha biha. Saha fiha. Saha fiha, that means the dunya. He went with his shop, his son is sick, wal-iyadu billah, something, so he forgot. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed us, and they made the sunnah to have sujood al-sahu to ruk'ah. Saha anha, this is what in the ayah. الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. They don't pray it on time. They don't, put their mind to it. They do not have focus to it in the salah. They're not getting any benefit from it. And the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ are too many in this regard. But I'm sorry, time is out. The Prophet ﷺ said, the worst person is the person who makes sariqa out of his salah. They said, Ya Rasulullah, how could he steal from his salah? He said, لا يتم ركوعها ولا سجودها ولا خشوعها. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين فاستغفروه يغفر لكم إنه الغفور الرحيم. وأصلي وأسلم على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم ردنا إلى دينك ردا جميلا، اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا وتقبل منا يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم نصرك المؤزر الذي وعدت، اللهم نصرك المؤزر الذي وعدت. اللهم ارحم أمواتنا، اللهم ارحم أمواتنا، اللهم ارحم شهداءنا، اللهم ثبت الأرض تحت أقدام المجاهدين، اللهم ثبتهم وأيدهم وارحمهم واشف مرضاهم وارحم موتاهم وارزقهم بمدد من عندك يا رب العالمين، واغفر لنا ولهم يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اجعلني مقيم الصلاة، اجعلنا من مقيمي الصلاة ومن ذرياتنا. ربنا وتقبل دعاء، رب اغفر لي ولوالدي والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات، إنك يا ربنا سميع قريب مجيب للدعوات. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أقم الصلاة.